Welcome to your practice. My name is Annie and I am the founder of Flow and Cycle. Flow and Cycle's aim is to connect people to their truest nature through the cycles of the body, earth and life. This is a 4-part series for each phase of the menstrual cycle or the moon cycle. The moon cycle and the menstrual cycle both share 4 distinct phases that move throughout a month. If you do not know which phase of your cycle you are in, I have linked my tracker and instructions in the notes below to help you get started. If you are not bleeding or do not have a menstrual cycle, you can follow the phases of the moon to do each of these practices. Let's get started. This is a 15-minute practice for the luteal phase of the menstrual cycle or the waning moon. This practice is very grounding, very calming for the nervous system, and also aids with our digestion, which can become a little bit sluggish during this phase of our cycle. Starting in a comfortable seat, for me, that is a block underneath my hips, and then placing one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. I invite you to close down the eyes. Let them land on the floor in front of you. And then start to connect in with the breath. Noticing the inhale and the exhale. Noticing the quality of your breath. Is it short and sharp? Or maybe it's long and smooth. Are you breathing into your chest space? Or is the breath moving deep down into the belly? Just noticing without judgment. Honoring that every time we step onto the mat, we are coming from a different place, and that no 2 practices will ever be the same. Using your breath as a guide to how you are feeling as you show up to your practice today. Releasing the hands back into the lap, and letting the eyes open back up. Coming into a cross-legged seat if you are not already in one. Placing your left fingertips behind your left hip. Inhale, right hand comes up overhead. As you exhale, twisting to the left, right hand finds left knee. Not pushing or pulling, just starting to warm up through the spine, a gentle twist. And then slowly unraveling back to the front. Right hand finds the floor behind your right hip. Inhale, left hand comes up overhead. And as you exhale, twisting to the right, left hand finds right knee. Once again, not pushing or pulling. Just creating a gentle twist to warm up the spine. And slowly unraveling back to the front. Placing your fingertips on the ground in front of you. And then starting to walk your hands down, coming into a seated fold. Maybe you don't get very far and stay here. Maybe you walk all the way down onto your forearms. Just listening to your body and finding the shape that is right for you. Sending the breath deep down into the belly. Chin meets chest. Completely surrendering. Slowly Lifting back out of the shape. Moving your block out of the way if you had one. And then meeting in tabletop position on all fours. Our wrists are in line with our shoulders, our knees in line with our hips. Inhale, lowering the belly, lifting the chest and the chin, cow pose. Exhale, pushing the earth away, rounding the spine, chin to chest, cat pose. Inhale, lower the belly, lifting the heart. Exhale, pushing the earth away, curving your spine. Once more, inhale, lowering the belly, lifting the chest and the chin. Exhale, pushing the earth away, chin to chest. Inhale, lowering the belly, lifting the heart. Once more, cow pose. And as you exhale, tucking the toes, sending the hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lowering the knees back down to the floor, tabletop. Exhale, sending the hips backwards, child's pose. Inhale, lifting up through all fours, lowering the belly, lifting the heart, cow pose. Exhale, tucking the toes, sending the hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lowering the knees, coming back through tabletop. And then exhale, sending the hips back, child's pose. One more round. Inhale, coming through all fours, lowering the belly, lifting the chest. Exhale, tucking the toes, sending the hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lowering the knees back to the earth, tabletop. Exhale, sending the hips back, taking the knees wide, coming down into child's pose to hold. Letting your breath move deep into the belly. Your head is heavy on the floor, your arms are heavy on the floor. Letting your breath send deep down to the belly. Completely surrendering. Start to make your way out of the shape, moving back to all fours in our tabletop position. Tucking the toes, sending the hips back, downward facing dog. Taking a moment here, maybe stretching out one leg and then the other, pedaling out the feet. Spreading the fingers wide on the mat, our feet are hip distance apart. Coming into stillness again, pushing down through the hands, sending the hips backwards in space. And then lowering the knees back down to the floor, we'll slide down onto our belly. Sliding the hands forward, we'll come into Sphinx pose, meeting our elbows either side of our ribs, creating a right angle with our arms. Spreading the fingers out wide on your mat. Your chin is slightly tucked. Your gaze lands on the floor in front of you. And just engaging your lower core to protect your lower back. Bringing your awareness back to the breath. And slowly lowering back down to the ground, bringing your hands either side of your ribs, tucking the toes, sending the hips back, downward facing dog. Taking 3 breaths here. Inhale, sending the gaze towards the top of the mat. Exhale, planting your right foot on the outside of your right hand, left foot on the outside of your left hand, coming into our squat. Placing 1 or 2 blocks underneath your hips if you need. Your feet should be flat on the earth and your knees and feet tracking out in the same direction. Bringing your hands to your heart, and maybe using your elbows to push your knees out a little wider. Your gaze lands on the floor in front of you, or maybe you close down the eyes, focusing on the breath, trying to slow down the breath, making it smooth and effortless. Coming out of the shape, we'll move our blocks out of the way and come down to sit on our bottom in a cross-legged seat. Bringing your left heel towards your right hip and then lifting your right leg over your left leg. Trying to have both hips flat on the earth. Our right leg is over the top of our left leg. Placing your right fingertips behind your right hip. Inhale, left hand comes up overhead. And as you exhale, twisting to the right. Using your left hand to push you deeper into the shape. With each inhale, the spine grows taller. With each exhale, you twist a little further. And slowly unraveling back to the front. Placing your hands on the floor in front of you. And then starting to walk your hands down, coming into a fold. Maybe you land here, or maybe you continue to soften until your forehead lands on your knee. Breathing deep into the right hand side of the hip. Letting your body go heavy. Slowly lifting back up out of the shape. We'll swap legs, sending both legs out long. Bringing your right foot under your left leg towards your left hip. And then placing your left leg over the top. Making sure that your hips are flat on the earth. If you need, you can place a block underneath your hips for a little bit of extra height. Once you have found your shape, placing your left hand behind your left hips. Inhale, right hand comes up overhead. As you exhale, twisting to the left hand side of the room. With each inhale, the spine grows taller. With each exhale, you twist a little further. Using your right arm to pull you deeper into the shape. Maybe your gaze looks over your left shoulder. And slowly unraveling back to the front. Placing your fingertips on the ground in front of you. And maybe this is enough. Or maybe you start to walk your hands down, folding over your legs. Deep stretch through the left hand side of the hip and glute. Letting your chin come to your chest. Maybe your forehead lands on your knee. Then lifting back up out of the shape. We'll send our legs down long on the mat, giving our legs a little bit of a shake out. Bringing your heels hip distance apart, creating a slight bend in the knees. Inhale, arms come up overhead, the spine grows tall. And as you exhale, starting to fold forward, Paschimottanasana. Your chin lands on your chest. Breathing deep into the belly. Letting your upper body go heavy. Completely surrendering. Slowly lifting back up out of the shape, straightening the spine back upright. And then making your way down onto your back for shavasana. Taking a small rebound, the knee hug. Maybe rolling from side to side, releasing through the lower back. And then sending the legs down long. Arms come out wide. If you would like to take a shavasana, pause this video for 5 minutes, and then I will meet you at the end. Beginning to deepen the breath. Maybe lifting arms overhead, giving yourself a big stretch. And then rolling over onto one side. Slowly making your way up to a comfortable seat. Thank you for practicing with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like or share it with someone that might also enjoy it. Head to my page to see the other phases of the menstrual cycle. Thank you.